What is up, my beautiful people? It is your boy, Mr. What If here, bringing you a lovely little story on my YouTube channel. So yeah, let's hop into the story. Recap of part 1, What If Deku was skilled? Recap. So Deku basically has a quirk. I believe it's called Fast Learner. I believe that's what I said his quirk was. And he's able to observe his surroundings and his opponents and basically learn and adapt to all of his opponent's attacks or his playing field. So yeah, Deku is pretty much going to be a little bit OP. And I'm going to say, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm going to say in this series of What If, there's going to be a whole lot of, not a whole lot, but a few moments where Deku basically acts like he has Ultra Instinct. So yeah, let's hop into this. So, a few months go by, Deku and Momo are best friends, and all of that good stuff. They're really, really, really close, like, tight close. Like, every time Momo's mom or dad would say they're going to, like, an amusement park or somewhere special, especially, like, for Momo's birthday or somewhere, or Momo could invite some of her friends to go with the family somewhere, or vacation or something like that, she would always, her number one pick always would be Deku, of course. And yeah. So they would go to the same elementary school, but not the same middle school because Momo's parents are very high on education. And so is Deku's mom, I believe. Yeah, Deku's mom is also high on education, so they respect that. But they would always still hang out, even if they don't go to the same middle school. Everything is basically the same but different. Bakugo doesn't mess with Deku at all. Every time Bakugo looks in Deku's direction, Bakugo gets a little bit of, like, instead of getting the urge to destroy or kill Deku, he gets this, like, it's basically Deku and Bakugo's relationship in this What If is going to be a one-sided victory all the time. It's always going to be male dominance. So it's going to be like that alpha and beta relationship. Like, Bakugo's the beta and Deku was always the alpha. Sorry about that. Yeah. So everything basically goes normal for Deku. Deku's training and hitting his skills. And Deku actually gets fond of these weapons, as you can see, as the guy is holding in his hand. These are going to be, of course, the main two weapons Deku will be using, and Prime 2. So yeah, Deku is enhancing and sharpening his skills, his battle tactics, and everything. The only thing that's different is the fight between Deku and the Sludge villain, which basically is a one-sided victory. Deku, the Sludge villain, how this would go down between Deku versus the Sludge villain, like I just said, one-sided victory. The Sludge villain at first would actually get a good 3 or 4 hits on Deku, and then after that, Deku would just basically get the gist of the Sludge villain's attacks. He knows that the Sludge villain attacks are random, but Deku can just basically comprehend to what's going on, and he's using the area which is underneath the bridge, the tunnel, and he's basically using that to his advantage by jumping around, dodging, and Deku knows that the weak spot for the Sludge villain, of course, is his eye, so Deku's attacking that. And warning, Ultra Instinct moment coming up right now. Deku closes his eyes and he's dodging every single one. What I mean by every, I mean all of the Sludge villain's attacks with his eyes closed, with both hands behind his back. And he's not even going to attack the Sludge villain using his weapons. He's kicking the Sludge villain in the eye and all of that. Deku's got his eyes closed, both hands behind his back, kicking the Sludge villain in the eye and all of that. Oop, I better go check that out after when I'm done making this What If. He's basically swiftly just dodging. This is straight up Ultra Instinct moment. And then this is when All Might would come and say, have no fear, for I am here. But All Might stops and sees that the kid is dodging the sludge villain with his eyes closed, hands behind his back, and you just kicking the sludge villain in the eyes every time the sludge villain has his guard down. And then All Might is saying, this kid must be really powerful. He really is powerful, this kid. And then All Might would say, have no fear, young child. And then this is when Deku would open his eyes and the sludge villain would turn around and they both would say, All Might at the same time. And All Might does the Detroit Smash. And Deku will quickly jump out of the way, dodging the pressure, and the sludge villain would get knocked out. And I'll say that the sludge villain would stay knocked out longer because, of course, he's getting jacked in the eye. Like, he's getting full-on karate kicked in the eyeball. Like, come on now. He's going to be knocked out way longer than in canon. This is what All Might would put the sludge villain in a soda bottle. And Deku would ask for All Might's autograph. And then this is when, before All Might leaves, he would ask Deku to meet him tomorrow at 7:30 at Dagobah Beach. If Deku knows where that is, and Deku says yes, I actually go there basically every day and train, but I got free time. And then All Might would say, alright, see you tomorrow at 7:30 at Dagobah Beach, and All Might jumps away, and Deku runs, goes for a good, I'll say 7 to 8 miles run back to the house. And when he gets home, Momo's family he sees a big limo with 2 bodyguard people standing in front of Deku's door. And Deku walks in and he sees that Momo's mom and dad are sitting with Deku's mom, talking and laughing and drinking and eating. And then this is when Deku would say, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Yaruzu. Then they would both say hello in Zuku Midoriya. And then Momo would come from Deku's room and ask Deku to go into the back, would ask Deku to go to his room so Momo and Deku could talk. And then Deku goes to his room, and then he closes his door. And then Momo and Deku will start talking, and then Deku will say, I knew that you were going to come over to hang out, but why is your mom and dad here as well with bodyguards standing in front of my house? And then Momo would say, my parents are actually here to ask your mom something. And then Deku would say, what is it? And then Momo would say, I don't know. And then Deku would say, you have to know at least something. Then this is when the doorbell would ring and Deku and Momo would run to the door and open it, and then this is when All Might would appear saying, hello there, young, hello there, we meet again. And then Deku would say, All Might. And then Deku would pull All Might to the house. This is when Mr. Yaruzu would say, All Might. And then All Might would say, Mr. Yaruzu, how's it been? And then Momo would say, Dad, you know who All Might is? And then Deku would say, yeah, Mr. Yaruzu, you know who All Might is? And then Mr. Yaruzu would say, oh yes, All Might is actually, surprisingly, is one of my biggest interest funds. Actually sends quite a few funds to my company for medical supplies. Of course. And then Mr. Yaruzu says that All Might is one of the bigger donors. It's actually my biggest donor to the company for our medical supplies. For some reason, I don't know why, but All Might is our #1 donor. And then, and then All Might and Mr. Arusa will start laughing, and then this is when All Might and Deku's mom would lock eyes, and they would stare at each other, and the room would go silent. And yes, this is going to be All Might and Inko, as well as Momo X Deku. So yeah, All Might and Inko will be getting together in this What If. And then All Might would quickly walk over to Inko, and in this, Inko is in her prime state. She's a skinny version of Inko, not the future. I don't want to be mean to say fat. I want to say chubby. She's not as Inko now. She's prime Inko, skinny Inko. And the reason why I say this is because even though Deku was training, Deku actually gets his mom into training, so Inko has a little bit of muscle on her, and in a way better handle on her quirk than the cannon itself. And All Might is like, then All Might goes to shake Inko's hand, and Inko, surprisingly to All Might, has a little bit of a grip to it, to the handshake. And then All Might would say, "Wow, you have some muscle on you, young lady." And then Inko would say, "Oh, stop, you're making me blush." And then Deku would look at All Might, and then All Might would look back at Deku, and All Might knows that Deku is giving All Might that stare. Yep, Deku's giving All Might that stare. It was like, are you trying to get on my mom or something? And like, Deku's giving All Might the stare, like, you like my mom, don't you? And All Might is staring back at Deku with the stare of like, yes, I really do. I don't know why, I just really do. So yeah. So this is when Miss Yaruza would say, let's get back to the task at hand. And then All Might would say, what do you mean? And so would Deku and Momo would both say, all three of them would say, what do you mean? And then Mrs. Yaruzu would say, we would like for you to marry our daughter. Would like to marry our daughter, Momo. And then this is when All Might, Inko, Deku, and Momo would all say, what? And then Inko would say, well, it's about time you two got married. We were just waiting for... And then Inko would say, of course she would say, what? But then she would say, well, it doesn't make sense. And in rich families, kids can get married at the age of 15 and 16 and higher. I believe the legal age for kids in Japan, like for rich families, that they could get married at the age of 13 and older, I believe. So yeah. I think it's either 15 or 13 kids can get married. So yeah. And this is when Momo and Deku would actually go to the room and talk about the whole thing about them getting engaged and married. And then Deku would say, I'm only ready if you are, and Momo would blush and then run and kiss Deku on the lips, saying, I always been ready. And then Deku would say, so it's official. We're both in this together. And then Momo would say, yes. And then this is when Deku and Momo would say that they're both ready. And this would give a smile to Mr. and Mrs. Yaruzu, and Inko and All Might both smile as well. And then All Might would say, well, I guess you get two things today. You get to not just train with me. I have asked your mother for permission to train with you. And you're going to get married to the girl you love. So I guess you're having a good day today. And then Deku would say yes. So I'm going to be editing it like right here. So yeah. Hope you guys like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll catch you all in the next part. Peace.